What's up, family? It is Tara Chantel, the author of Self-Love Manual, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you so much for being on this journey with me, for supporting, for subscribing. It truly does not go unnoticed. I have such a quick message for you today on how to build intimacy with your loved ones, with your partner in this world. It first starts with building this relationship with yourself. It all starts with self-worth, self-confidence, and self-love. And when we are harnessed in on self, confident with ourselves, genuinely have a connection with ourselves, that will be a ripple effect of how we will interact with this world and other people in this world. But we first have to be vulnerable with ourselves. We first have to understand our needs and meet our own needs for ourselves. So we don't go out here expecting someone to please us, expecting someone to make our needs a requirement for other people to read our mind. That is not logical. That is not realistic. That is really insane. So understanding that people are not a mind reader. They don't know what you want. They don't know how you were raised and how you were brought up. If you are aware of your traumas, your triggers, now you can give people grace. You will then begin to accept others for who they are without trying to change them, because you are accepting yourself. But first, we must build a connection with ourselves to actually form intimacy with other people. Because if we're not emotionally, spiritually, and mentally intimate with ourselves, with our own soul, we can never interact with this world properly or correctly, because we are not gentle with ourselves. We must have grace with ourselves, and then we're going to have grace on other people. If we are okay with ourselves, we're going to be okay with other people. If we get along with ourselves, we're going to get along with other people. If we love ourselves, we are going to love other people. But we first have to build an intimate relationship with ourselves. I am not a fan of this whole thing of soulmates. Oh, I gotta find a soulmate. If I don't find a soulmate, I am empty. That is a wrong way to live life. That's not a realistic way to live life, that we're out here chasing and hunting and looking, because it's nothing to look for when we are secure with ourselves. It's nothing to really go after when we are whole with ourselves. It's nothing that is missing when we are good with ourselves. So we already are thinking of lack. We already are entering in this world of lack instead of abundance by expecting someone to be our soulmate, or trying to find it, or trying to search for it. And that will have us drained, that will have us exhausted, and that will have us in a panic attack. So what if we shift that way of thinking? Instead of trying to find a soulmate, and look in the mirror and realize that you are your soulmate. Your soul is mated with your spirit. Your soul is mated with your personality in this existence. Your soul is connected to this being you are presented in this physical experience right now, in this realm, in this reality. So when you are your own best friend, instead of being your worst nightmare or your enemy, you now go into saving yourself. Instead of looking for other people to come save you, you are saving yourself. No one will save you here. You have to be the hero of your own story. So you being the hero of your own story, now you are going to be your own soulmate. When you are your own soulmate, now you are able to connect with other souls on this journey. You can be vulnerable with them. You can be transparent with them. You can love them. You can accept them. You can be there for them emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. Now your cup have runneth over, but you cannot pour out of an empty cup. You can't pour from a state of depression. You can't pour from a state of desperation. You can't pour out of a state of need, because you really don't need anyone to fulfill your needs when you are already doing that for yourself. So it's about doing this inner work with yourself, and it gets very dark. It can be very heavy when we are confronting our own demons. But that is how we are going to maneuver in this light. We have to go from dark to light, and we cannot be afraid of the dark. But once we are confident with ourselves and we know our past, we know our traumas, we know what triggered us, no one can move us because we are solid within ourselves. But it first starts with being intimate with yourself, looking yourself in the mirror, saying those affirmations, journaling, being in a quiet space with your own thoughts instead of running away from it, instead of being so busy and being so consumed up in everybody else's energy and drama, but sitting still with yourself. The best way to form intimacy with yourself by stillness, by gratitude, by truly breathing and embracing this present moment in this reality. I promise you, you are going to be able to connect with so many souls when you are your first soulmate. When you know that you are your soulmate, now you can be so vulnerable, so transparent with so many people. I'm telling you, because now that I am connected with myself, I have heart-to-hearts on a daily basis with people. I don't do small talk. I'm exhausted by small talk. So we get right to the nitty-gritty when we are over here talking. We get right to it and we start healing, we start loving, and we look eye to eye with one another. We make eye contact with each other and we start hugging and loving and just expressing true gratitude. We are only here to experience one another, not to own, not to possess, and not to control. So once we give each other that freedom, we give each other that space, we can then operate from love. I hope this helps someone today. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for subscribing. Please let me know, what does intimacy look like for you? I'll see you on the next one.